When fresh peas are in season, this is the dish that you should make today. I'm going to share with you how to make Methi Mattar mushroom malai, a dish that is absolutely delicious. Button mushrooms and fresh green peas are stewed in a wonderful spice gravy flavored with cream and kasoori methi. Let's go through the ingredients. To begin with, I have 1.5 cups of button mushrooms that have been sliced. I have a cup of green peas, 4 tablespoons of kasoori methi. Now, if you have fresh methi, you could use about a cup of that. Next, I have ginger and garlic minced, a teaspoon each of salt and sugar, 1/4 of a cup cream, 2 teaspoons ghee, 1 teaspoon amchur powder, 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg powder, 1 teaspoon red chili powder, 2 tablespoons melon seeds, 2 tablespoons coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon of garam masala. In the whole masalas, we require 1/4 teaspoon cardamom seeds, about a teaspoon of peppercorns, 1 piece of mace, 2 to 3 sticks of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of cloves. To begin with, we're going to heat a pan, and in that we're going to dry roast the masalas. So we will begin with coriander seeds, as this takes the longest. Just swirl it around in the pan. Keep moving it so that it gets evenly browned. Next, go in the cumin seeds. By dry roasting all these spices, you get a wonderful aroma and flavor when you add it to the dish. Next, go in the cardamom seeds, the pepper, a piece of mace, cinnamon, and cloves. Now we're going to let this roast for just another 30 seconds to a minute, and then we're going to powder it. Just before I'm going to turn off the flame, I'm going to add the melon seeds. Melon seeds give a wonderful creamy velvet texture to the masala powder and the gravy as well. So just give it a stir, make sure you don't let it burn. Once the whole spices have cooled down, just pound it or crush it with a mortar and pestle until it's a coarse powder. Next, we're going to cook the mushrooms. So I'm going to heat about a teaspoon of ghee, and I'm going to add the mushrooms. Now I'm going to cook this for a minute or two until the mushrooms release some of their moisture. As you can see, our mushrooms have softened and slightly browned, and it's releasing its water. At this point, we're going to turn this off and take the mushrooms out. Remember that don't cook the mushrooms too much, just about 3/4, because it's going to cook again with the gravy. We're going to set this aside. I'll heat my pan again, and I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of ghee. Next, go in the ginger and garlic. And I'm going to let this cook just for a minute. Just keep stirring so that the garlic doesn't burn. If garlic burns, it gives a bitter flavor. Now, if you'd like, you don't have to add ginger or garlic to this dish, but I feel this gives a nice added flavor. Our ginger garlic paste is almost done. Now, at this point, I'm going to be adding most of the kasoori methi. I'm going to leave a little bit that I'll add towards the end of the dish. Now, stir this. Once it starts releasing its aroma, it's time to add a little bit of coriander leaves. Mix everything, and next go in the peas. I'm going to add a pinch of salt and some sugar. I'm going to let this cook for a minute. The peas are now cooked. At this point, we're going to add our masalas. Here's the garam masala, chili powder. And I'm going to stir this for a minute. Next, I'm going to add the masala powder that we had made. Just stir everything together. Add the mushrooms. Add a little bit more of the coriander leaves. And I'm going to add a little bit of water just to cook the other masalas, and they'll infuse the water with all the flavor. We'll let this cook for just about 2 to 3 minutes. Now this has come to a boil. We're going to turn the flame off just for a minute. Now we do this because when we add the cream, what happens is sometimes it splits and has a grainy texture. So we're going to add the cream in and mix it thoroughly, really fast, till it's well incorporated. Now if you choose not to use cream, you could always add milk, or if you don't want to add milk, you could also add curds. Once the cream has incorporated, I'm going to turn the flame back on, keep it on really low, and next I'm going to add the amchur powder. Not much, just a teaspoon, and the nutmeg. Mix it all in. Check the seasoning to see if the salt is fine. I'm going to add just a little bit more salt. Now if you want, you could add water and make it a thinner gravy, or you could just leave it as is. Our gravy has been sitting for about 2 to 3 minutes just to make sure that all the spices have married. At this point, I'm going to add the last bit of kasoori methi. What you need to do is with the palm of one hand, you need to kind of powder it. What this does is it releases the flavors of the methi and gives a wonderful aroma to the dish. Mix it in. Add a little bit more of the coriander leaves. This herb gives a wonderful flavor to this dish and it's ready. So I'm going to plate it out. Now I have used mushrooms. If you don't have mushrooms, you could use potatoes or paneer. They taste just as well. Just follow the recipe as is normally. Perfect. This dish is really good to have when you're low on vegetables. Everybody always has frozen peas in the fridge, so you could just make this with peas and it'll taste just as well. Eat it with roti, naan or rice, and I'm sure you'll be very happy.